On the SU Learning homepage, we have several resources that you can access either as a faculty member or as a student through this resource tab, both student resources and academic resources. The student resources are a list of community resources that have been compiled that may be able to provide support to students at low to no cost. These are issues that have come up in the past where students have expressed hardships such as needing help with housing. So we have housing assistance here. We have had people who, students who didn't have internet or cell phone or communication services. So there's cell phone services, emergency food programs, mental and behavioral health services, counseling services. So is a lot of these are services provided by organizations in the city that Southwest University does not provide, that we want to make sure the students have the opportunity to explore in case this could help them in their personal life, their academic life, professional life, whatever it might be. So this is great to share with students if they ever reach out to you, letting you know about struggles or hardships they may be having. On the academic resources tab, we're constantly building this and improving it, but we have information on different academic resources that may be available to the student. The most important of which is information on APA format, both in a video that was created by some of our faculty and staff. And so we broke that video up into sections, as well as a library guide made by our librarian that has additional tutorials, manuals, and instructions on APA formatting. So these are both great resources to give to the students. The only issue that might come up is having to find these. So going to the home page, logging out, and clicking on the resource tab, and it's several clicks to get there. So we want to figure out a way to make it easier for the students to utilize these. And one way we can do that is if we see in this faculty resources course, which you should be a part of. If not, you can reach out to your program director for them to add you. We have these 3 sections here at the bottom, and there might be more. These might be updated or modified, but these are to get those resources available to the student directly in the class. So if I come here to the library section, here we have the information on EBSCO. The link to get to EBSCO, the password, and a video that our librarian, Ms. Montilla, made to explaining how to use EBSCO. We need to update this actually, I believe, but also that same video I mentioned that gives them information on how to write the different parts of a APA paper, links to the library guide, video on how to write an email. So there's some good writing resources that are here. In addition, we have other support resources. This basically just links them out to that tab that we saw earlier, but it puts it here in the class so it's easier for them to find. And the same thing, tutoring academic resources, it links them out, but it puts it here in the class where they can find it. So 2 reasons that we want to have this in the class is A, it's accessible to the students where they don't have to go out of the class to find it, it's there. But you can also link it straight in an activity, and we'll see how you can do that. But first, let's see how we can put these sections into a class. So in a previous video, we went over the sharing cart, so I'm just going to turn my editing on. So either you can do this, or if you don't have the access to do it, you can request your program director to do it. But you can copy a whole section. So in this case, I'm going to copy library and writing resources, other support resources, and tutoring and academic resources. So I have these all in my sharing cart. I'm going to go to my class of interest, just make sure it's up to date. And I'm going to, first I need to add a new section. I'll go ahead and add 3 since I have 3 different topics. So I'm going to add the writing resources first, click on the duplicate and add it here. Overwrite it, continue. Now this is available to the students, so I'm going to do the same for the other 2 sections. And so this gives us the option now to add additional stuff here that might be relevant to the course. YouTube video channels, additional resources that you might have, professional organizations. So you can add this here as it makes sense, so the students have it there immediately. But something else that we can do that having this in the course now allows us to do is we can link these activities straight into, we can link these activities straight into the course material. So let me give you an example of that. So say in module 1, I'm just going to do an example assignment just to see how this works. So say this is a test assignment, example assignment. I'm not going to do anything in the activity instructions, but I want to show the description just to see how it looks. Here, I'll ask the students to, this is, say it's a writing assignment, so I'll say, okay, you're going to be writing, so let's go ahead and make sure to use the SU Librarian writing resource. What I'm going to do is I'm going to link the section directly here. So if they click it, it'll take them straight to the section. So on top of this, after writing it, I'll then hover over the section, I'll right click it, and I'll do copy link address. I'll then come here and highlight the relevant text, click on this chain link to link, enter URL, and I'll do create link so that I add a link here, which should take the students to this section when they click it. And we'll test it out right now. So that's one way you can add links to any type of activity. If you right click it, you'll see they'll have copy link address, so you can link straight to a section or straight to an activity. What's really cool is you can copy this link and send it in an email to send students straight to module 1 or module 6 or a specific assignment or lecture, whatever it might be. So it's really cool to be able to use those links. The other way we can do it is by adding activity titles word for word into this text. Moodle will automatically create a link to that activity if the text is the same. So let's see an example of this. So I'm going to open up this section, and let's say I want them to use resources from EBSCO. So what I'm going to do, this is an activity. So I'm going to click on the pencil and copy the activity title exactly as it is without changing anything. I'm going to come back to my assignments, and I'm going to put down here and paste that exactly as it is. Just for continuity, I'm going to put it in both so we can see both, and I'm going to display this on the page. All right, I'm not going to change any other settings. This is just an example, save and return course. So what we've done now is if you're showing the description, this links straight to the resource. So don't forget to use the SU Librarian writing resource, which will take them straight there. Similarly, use the EBSCO site info resource. They click on that, it opens it directly just by copying and pasting the title. So this way, this is just a statement you can create and put at the bottom of every single assignment that has links to whatever might be relevant. So this way the student has it there in front of them and they have no reason to say I couldn't find it, I couldn't access it because it's right there. This is great to do with activities, the announcements, emails, and communications you have with students, and we'll show that in a separate video. But in this case, you can add additional tutoring support services or the other resources links in here. And the other support services and the other support resources, you'll also see a few tutorials. We'll be adding and updating these as time goes along, but how to complete a discussion post, how to complete a Turnitin assignment, how to complete a written lecture activity. So what you could do is same thing in module 1. I'm just going to do an example discussion post. Discussion post, when they're going to be making this post is when they're going to have the question on how do I write a discussion post. So that's where we want to have the answer for them. So what I'm going to do in this case is go to my other support resources, how to complete a discussion post, click pencil, copy it, hit Control-C, not changing it, and then I'll come here to my discussion post where if they need help, watch this video. All right, same thing, just so you can see how it works. Save and return to course. So you come here to the forum, they need help, how to complete a discussion post. Takes them to the video Mr. Castillo made for us on how to create a discussion post. Similarly, if you open the activity and they're reading it and they want to, and they see it now, they can go straight to it from here as well. This just makes it easier, helps cut down on the students' question time. It also makes it easier for them to navigate the course, which is a positive thing for the students, which will make them want to, it's going to make them feel more comfortable engaging with the material. It'll decrease the frustration of having to figure out where everything is, figure out how to do everything. So by including these, you really help the students reach those achievements and make them feel a lot more comfortable and confident in their abilities to engage in the course material.